Currently, Ikaslan Bizkaia is involved in the development of two international collaboration projects, WISE and ProLine. Today, Roberta Richiero from ENGIM Torino, facilitator of the WISE Working in Soft Skills for Employment project, will tell us about her experience in this type of project and the challenges that, in her opinion, professional training faces. Ciao, Roberta. Thank you for being here today with us in order to celebrate our 25th anniversary. And well, first of all, I want to know what is ENGIM Torino and what are you focused on?
Yes, okay. ENGIM Torino is part of ENGIM Piemonte, which is part of ENGIM Italy. So ENGIM is a vocational educational training organization. The good thing about ENGIM is that it was born more than 100 years ago. So a few years ago, we had our anniversary too. And it started because during the Industrial Revolution, so many young people came to Torino, which is a big city, but it was more important then. So many young people came from the country and looking for work. And they could find work, but also the working conditions were not good. So this guy, who is who was also a priest, you know, Italy, Catholic country. So this guy thought, okay, I need to teach these boys some, you know, some competencies, because otherwise they will be exploited all their life. So that's how ENGIM started. So it started by doing courses, which is something we still do. But our target group has changed in the sense that now we work also for adult people, unemployed, and all different targets like migrants, disabled people, women, all targets. Everyone can upgrade her or his competencies in ENGIM. So the thing is that in the morning we have teenagers mainly, like in the past, and in the afternoon we have adults, and in the evening we have also adults, but they come for shorter courses. They want to reskill their competencies, and mainly they work already. And then we have loads of other projects, as you know, international and national projects too, always within the same field, you know, employment and training.
Mm-hmm. And how long have you been working on international collaboration projects?
Well, we started more or less 10, 15 years ago, because there was, well, the first thing we did was study visit, actually. There used to be study visit funded by CEDEFOP. And so we thought, well, we can apply. And some of us started, and then the network started to get bigger and bigger. And then we started to offer mobility projects to our students. And then lifelong learning program. I must also say that ENGIM has international projects also in another way, rather than European as well, because we have lots of projects with developing countries in Africa and South America. And we have some branches there too. So that was actually the first collaboration with other countries. But the projects that you mean, like the European projects, started more or less 15 years ago. Yes, basically 15 years ago, because we noticed that they could be the answer to some challenges, but maybe we can talk about this later.
Yeah, why is that important? The international field, international projects is important for ENGIM and for the vocational educational training and your students?
For different reasons. First of all, it's important for the students because they can learn new things, not only languages, but new competencies, and because they are put in a context which is different from their own. So it's very challenging for them. And when you have a challenge, you learn. Also, we must also say that most of our students come from disadvantaged backgrounds. So maybe for for them, it's the first time they go abroad, for example. So that in itself, it's an achievement already. Then they learn professional competencies as well. They do that in our courses, but when they have to practice them in Italy, it's easier. But if they go abroad, it's again, it's a challenge. For the staff, it's important because of course, learning a new language or using a different language. But I think the main thing is for the organization and for the staff is when you see other organizations in other countries, you are more inclined to think about your own organization, about the way you work, because you see people working in the same field as yours, but in a different way. So you can reflect on your own process, methodologies, and you can learn, or you can, sometimes you can feel, okay, you are doing a good job, but sometimes you can feel that you have to improve. And also, like I think Erasmus or international projects are a very good way to open your mind in all, in all contexts, in all ways. So we think it's important. It's important, and it's a very good added value to our activities.
Yeah, so at the end, it's good for the companies, it's good for you as an organization, for the students. I mean, in order to get more soft skills and in order to get more capacities, and for the companies to get proper students with languages and with more soft skills. And yeah, and for us to know that we are not alone in Europe, that we know, I mean, yes, we can work as a network, which is great.
Yes, and also I think it's also, I don't know about other countries, well, I know a bit, but in Italy, for example, vocational training is perceived as a second choice. So if we offer good activities and if we offer people more options, and if companies see that our students are qualified and we are qualified, that is not a second choice anymore, but it's one of the choices, not for everybody, but it's one of the choices. And it's important to raise the level both of the students and of the trainers. So that's why international projects can help in this way.
Do you think that the companies, I mean, those projects are good? I mean, international projects are good for the companies in order to get more close their needs and our students offer, I mean, in order to benefit one from each other. I mean, and that's why we use those international projects. I mean, to get soft skills, to get more training skills, to get languages. Do you think that they realize, companies, that the effort and the options that we are offering the students?
Not all the time, not always. Some of them do, and some of them are ready, like to, for example, leave the students for 2 months, and as long as he is abroad learning. But some other companies are not like that. Well, not at the moment, and not in Italy, not in this part of Italy. One of the other challenges, I think, with the company, maybe it's a following questions, I don't know, but this is very important. Is that they want people with soft skills. They don't care about the technical background, because they say, okay, we are going to teach them the technical stuff, but they need to have resilience and lots of soft skills. And so, but when there are people with those skills, maybe are adult learners, maybe they are older worker, and company says, oh yes, but he is or she is too old. But maybe she or he is only 45. So this is some change of mentality that we need to support. So companies, I think it's good to work with companies, but we need to work sometimes on companies as well, to make them aware. And that's why it would be very important to involve them in transnational projects. Both for like hosting students or meeting our partners, for example. That would be very interesting. Maybe that's an idea for a new project?
Well, that's what I'm gonna ask. How do, as international project manager, how do you arise a new project? How do you determine with the value and and also the transfer? I think that's the main point, the key point, the transfer that we can obtain from an international project in order to not getting repeated again and again, and to give a value to our clients, with the students, the companies, and our organizations, of course.
That's the key point and the most difficult point, I think, the transferability. But first, the ideas, they arise mainly by chance, I must say. Like maybe we are talking with somebody and we say, oh, that's good, and could be an idea for a new project. Or maybe sometimes my boss, Marco, you know him, sometimes we read something from the European Union, some documents, and we think, okay, that's a priority for the European Union. How can we meet that priority? So in what way are we weak on that, and how can we be stronger in that? So maybe a project can be done. So our ideas are many, and then we have these projects, and then there's the question of transferability. That's very difficult, I must say. This is something we still have to learn, because when you know as well that when a project ends, you are immediately put to work on something else, or because the money is over, you don't have hours, you don't have resources to continue. So we are trying to set up an internationalization strategy. And in this strategy, we kind of trying to, how can I say, to transfer the concept of internationalization to all the staff, and to start with small pieces. For example, somebody needs to be involved in a project, but maybe not on the whole project, but maybe he or she can come to a meeting, or maybe he or she can do something small in the classroom. So little by little, the transferability is, it's a process that can start. It is very difficult because as well, we have some limitations, like people don't speak English very much. People are very busy doing their own things. So it's also important to support internationalization at home. For example, giving value to our foreign students, for example, or our foreign staff, always with the aim of opening the minds and trying to connect. So what I have started since last year, probably, well, last year was a difficult year, but anyway, like not bringing the same people with me to transnational meetings. So maybe in one meeting I go with Massimo, in another meeting I go with Roberto, in another meeting I go with Alba. So I go with different people so that they can also start, and or maybe I don't go at all and I'll let other people going. It's just, the more activities we have, the more people can participate. So that's a way to ensure transferability, but there's a lot of road to travel.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, we need to open, the mind in our own organizations in order to let them know what is going on in Europe and in other countries and in other vet systems. Yes. But what do you think about the challenges that we have to face in order to improve the employability of our students and unemployed people? Because in the international projects can be related to any kind of topic, of course, in the frame of the EU, but in order to get our clients, students and unemployed people, how can we face those challenges?
That's a difficult question.
I know. I know.
I think one of the challenges that we are noticing lately is the ability of people, how can I say it in English? The ability of learning. So if I am able to learn all my life, I won't face, well, I will face problems, but I will be able to solve them. But if I don't have that skill, maybe I work and then I'm fired and then I can't find another job because I don't have that mentality of learning to learn. So that's one challenge, I think, that we need to provide people with that skill. I don't know how, but that's one challenge. The other challenge are all the goals of the European Union that we need to meet, and they are challenging, like all the basic competencies for adult education as well, for a basic citizen. Sustainability, for example, green transition, digital transition. They seem to be words only sometimes, but we know what's behind them. So these are challenges. And as I said before, in our area, which I think is one of the oldest in Europe, so basically in the world, the challenge is older people, which are not really older, but I'm just saying over 40. So they think that if they lose their job, they need to find another job forever, like permanent, but that's not the way anymore. So it's again the giving of the skill of learning how to learn. So learning that the mentality needs to be different. I don't really support like flexibility as such as a concept, but it's another way of thinking about flexibility. Like it's not flexibility, maybe it's more adapting your own skills to the environment. That's one of the main challenges, I think. And also with young people, because young people, they don't know about the labor market at all. So maybe the trainers, that's another challenge, the trainers. Sometimes the trainers have a bit, myself as well, a bit of an old mentality, and they tend to teach the same subjects every year in the same way. So nowadays you can't do that anymore. So there's all that sector of the digital learning that needs to be improved. So that's lots of the challenges, actually.
Well, we need another 25 years in order to get all those challenges. One last question, Roberta, now more focused on our WISE project, which is focused mainly on the exchange of good practices in the EU. What are the most striking aspects of the VASC vocational training for you? I know that you will come over soon if the COVID let us, but what do you think that is going to be, I mean, you can learn from us?
Well, yes. It's funny because until last year, when we started WISE, wherever we went to international conferences or I don't know, international meetings, everybody said, okay, in Europe, the best systems are the Finnish system and the Basque system. So we don't really know, at that time, we didn't really know why, but we started to read a bit about the Basque system, which we have these notions that we don't know if they are true or not. So that's why we are visiting. But we think, well, from what we know, the main things are the system and the connection with education and training. So education and training working together, but I don't know if it's true or not, but maybe it is. So, and then collaboration with companies and the dual system. So all those three aspects, and then innovation. Of course, we are told that the Basque Country are very innovative and they give students challenges, and there are some different ways to solve challenges. So we are interested to see if it's true or not. But in any way, we will learn, absolutely, we will learn something as well. So we are very curious about that.
That's good. I hope that you will enjoy your visit.
Anyway,
thank you, Roberta. Thank you for your time, and I hope you a nice day.
Thank you. And,
Ciao.
have a good day too. And happy anniversary.
Thank you, Roberta. I hope to see you soon. Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.